You know, Jeffrey, you asked a very intelligent question, but let me try and answer you one after the other. One, the issue of the governor trying to communicate through the social media, and I was told that he actually transmitted the letter to them. Now, we need to understand the role of SSG. The SSG is the secretary to the government. It is the secretary to the government that transmits such letters, to the best of my knowledge. It is the secretary to the government that signs the letters that every commissioner that is appointed. He is the secretariat of the governor when it comes to making contact or communicating with the legislative arm and even the judiciary. That said, now the issue of back channel. Now, I'm not speaking for the governor, but from what I gathered, they were concerned. Anxiety is in the atmosphere. And their concern is that if we transmit this letter without letting the public know, these people will deny that there was no such thing. They, in turn, have done it in the past, where there is transmission of information through the social media, where there is miscommunication and misinformation. And I'm not accusing any side, but both sides, okay? Now, whenever the tension is high, people tend to make mistakes. Has Fubara made mistake? Yes, it's obvious. Has the Wike's group made mistake? Yes, it's obvious. But Jeffrey, my concern is not about these two people as I'm concerned about the people of Rivers State. I've gone round. The people are depressed. Some people are drinking their life away just to forget some of this issue, you know. So the back and forth of communication and all that shouldn't take the place of the opportunity for peace. Like I said, the Right Honorable Speaker, Amewule, should have attended that meeting. Even if he doesn't want to attend, send a proxy and hear him out. And after hearing him out, walk out if you have to walk out. Why is it that he didn't do what Fubara had done? Show up and see if he will not be given a rival reception. Now he would have been balancing the act. You were invited for a meeting, you didn't show up. They told you, oh well, I'm bringing the issue to your house. You lock him out. I really don't understand. This is a sitting governor of a state. The disrespectful is so much. As much as sometimes too, Fubara has also shown, the balancing act. But my problem is not the politicians as much as my problem is the people. The people will suffer this the most. Now, let me ask one question. Amewule, Wike, Fubara, don't you guys think that you have cousins, brothers, grandfathers who are in Rivers State? At the end of this month, the anxiety is that they will not be able to pay salary. What are we going to say to that? Access to social services will be denied. What are we going to say to that? The insecurity will grow. What are we going to say to that? I say all of that to say to my good people of Rivers State who is listening to me, do not allow anyone to take advantage of this situation and cause you to take an action that would put democracy, the lives of the people in jeopardy. It was unfortunate, even what I heard yesterday, how the description of Ijaw people is looked at as people who are in the minority. Well, consult the Bible. God uses the minority sometimes to rule the majority. Is there in the Bible. The children of Issachar, they were only 200, but they were the command. Their brethren were at their command. Right. So God has a way of using the minority to lead the majority in a rightful way.
Well, Mr. Epelle.
So it doesn't matter. And ethnicity shouldn't even. Yeah.
Go ahead. I can sense the frustration, sometimes just tiredness, really, of having to talk about this since late 2023. For those who may have forgotten, this started late 2023, and we're still at it. And every time we seem to be getting to a resolution, the president intervenes, and we're like, oh, the president intervened, we're going to have peace. things get worse. Or judgment is given and you're saying, well, at least they should respect the court. Then it gets worse. Or someone is invited for a meeting or there's an ultimatum given. The point is, it always seems as though peace is farther the closer it seems to get. And it's exhausting. And you've talked about the people. And my question is quite direct, which is what we started with earlier on the show. Is there a way that people can knock some sense into the active players? Because it looks like if the leaders, political leaders now, don't seem to want to, take responsibility and do what is right, then the onus is on the people to maybe knock some sense into them, Mr. Epelle. Is that even possible?
Kayode, my dear good friend, thank you for your question. I don't want you to be misquoted. When you say knock some sense, I don't want you to be misquoted. I know your heart. You have always stood for what is right. And thank you for the last time I asked the wrong question. I like the way you stood up and defended her. So that said, the Rivers people are peaceful people, no matter the provocation. Yes, we can toe the line of trying to get them to hear us, but I know metaphorically when you say knock some sense, you're not saying we should take the arms. No. However, yes, that's why people like me are here. I would have been in Abuja, where I live, and just relax. You understand? I would have not left Geneva to come here. So the direct answer to your question, there are people walking behind the scene. And I'm one of those, and I want to continue to be one of those, to see how we can bring the two warring factions together so that they can hear and feel the pulse of the people and follow their heartbeat and truly act as people who are patriotic. I know that my line is probably having some challenges, but they can hear me, So no matter what they do, they cannot silence voices like mine. I have nothing to gain. Let everybody look at whether I'm not getting anything from anything. I don't need to get anything. I am for the people, and we will continue to engage. People like me, I have made offer. I went to Fubara and I told him, please remember that you're the leader of the people. And I'm proud that I gave my brother a hug and pat him on the back and said, continue to do what is right. History will be very kind to you. I have made overtures to the Wike group to meet with Wike, to meet with anybody in their group. And of course, when I send text message, they are no longer responding. And they have a right to choose whether to meet me or not. You understand? They might say, who am I? It doesn't matter. God can use anybody. Here's my story. Rejected by men, selected by God. I will continue to sue for peace. I will continue to balance my views. Yes, I may be sounding like I support Fubara. I support him, he's my brother. I support Wike too, but we need to tone down the rhetorics and allow peace to reign. If truly and really, if I'm in the shoes of Wike, I would fight everything, I would do everything possible to protect my legacy. There are some reasonable legacy that he left behind. And this trend is on the path of destroying everything. And as a leader, please, Nyesom Wike, my brother, let's sit down and discuss what the issues are. Let's go to the negotiation table so that you can put your issues across, and all that. And let's not act like we are God. You can't be on national television giving your own conditions, and it's your way or the highway. Fubara, you can also not be on national television giving your own condition, your way or the highway. The two parties need to meet together. I think we will solve this problem, Kayode, if we can have one opportunity for these two individuals to meet in a room, look themselves in the eye and say, this is what you did to me. Cry, hug each other. It's not all these issues and people that are fueling and the amber of this discord. We need to allow these two people to meet together, to meet in one room and decide their fate so that this state can breathe.
You know, Mr. Epelle, you have pretty much, sort of segued into my next line of thought in many different ways when you talk about some things actually happening behind the scene that we do not know. Because I was going to ask if, with the efforts made by the governor, writing to the assembly saying that he also made calls, and this response, that we see that he has gotten from the State Assembly, are they acting alone? At the State Assembly members led by Honorable Martin Amewuli acting alone? And if, Minister Nyesom Wike is saying if the governor is impeached, nothing will happen, is the other party going for the jugular? Are we going to be seeing in the coming days, even after the budget presentation, attempts to impeach the governor, which is, sort of where we started off from about 2023?
I do respect your journalistic prowess and your ability to, sometimes telepathically pick the mind of your interviewer. Now, here's the truth. Number one, Wike doesn't have the constitutional power to impeach a governor. He can call for the impeachment. He's not a member of the National Assembly or State Assembly. So he doesn't have the constitutional power to do that. He has the right, in his personal opinion, to call for his impeachment. But the people that will execute the impeachment are the members of the State Assembly. That is number one. Number two, is there anybody beating the drum for the masquerade that is dancing? Of course there is. Let me quote what I heard in the video and some of the things making rounds in Port Harcourt. I was told, and I don't have any concrete evidence, but let me say this. I was told that at the point that the governor was coming to the gate, that they received a call from Abuja. Whoever made that call, I don't know, that they shouldn't see the governor. So it's a case of somebody beating the drum somewhere, and the State Assembly people are dancing the beatings of the drum or acting the script that they are giving. Now, that's unfair. That is very, very unfair. So that has been the issue. If I remember the second question, and if you don't mind, please, can you just repeat the second question? Because I was bent on getting the first question.
If Governor, if Minister Nyesom Wike says if Governor Fubara is impeached, nothing will happen, that there will be no consequence, is it inevitable that we're going to be seeing the State Assembly make impeachment moves in the coming days?
Well, there's a possibility. There's a possibility. But one thing I can tell you, and I'm not speaking based on any informed position, and I'm not speaking based on looking at the crystal ball. I'm speaking on what I know happens when the people is behind a leader. Let them go and try impeachment. They will not succeed. Nobody will impeach Fubara. And I say that openly on a national television, because he hasn't committed any impeachable offense. Nobody will impeach him. The people are solidly behind him. Will anything happen if he's impeached? No, the Rivers people are not troublesome the way we are painted. No, we are not, But we will stand behind him and stand behind democracy, not about Fubara. Right. The truth is that if we don't stem the tide of this chaos, it can happen to any other person. It doesn't matter where that person is coming from. So this threat of impeachment making rounds should stop. You can't be saying you want peace, and on the other hand, you say you want to impeach. It doesn't make sense to me.
All right, Mr. Epelle.
Be a member of the National Assembly or the State Assembly, let them try the impeachment, and the people will stand by the people that they will stand for. Period.